So a lot of people are probably in the same situation right now where you've got a lot of boxes. They don't fit in your yellow bin, so we're going to give these boxes a second life. We've been collecting them for about a week and a half now. Had to knock on the neighbour's door as well for a couple of extras, just for the purpose of this video. But yeah, I'm going to break them down and build a fort for the kids that they can come play with this afternoon. We've got boxes from, we've got fruit and veggie being delivered. I'm sure a lot of people in the same place where you're not picking up fruit from your local grocer. So fruit and veggies are being delivered. Had an easel sent the other day for the kids to do some artwork. Monitor. Cheese, did not buy that much cheese. That is a box that someone else's second life. So let's say that's a third life box. It's pretty fancy. But the whole point of this is that you can do it at home, right? I'm going to use a stapler and my Stanley. If you don't have a Stanley knife, you can just use a box cutter. If you don't have a box cutter, you can use scissors, but 2 tools only. That's the plan. No hot glue guns, no fancy set out, nothing like that. It's kind of, at-home crafts. Your kids can help out. You can build it while they're out playing, and then they can come in and decorate it. So I reckon the first thing we're going to do is start separating these boxes. So all these parts are going to come in handy. You look at that, it's probably not going to do much, but little boxes like this are going to be perfect somewhere. Just wait and see. So everyone's going to have different boxes. These fruit and veggie ones have air holes or handle holes. So I'm looking at that thinking it could be a pretty cool lookout from inside the fort, or maybe we'll do a letterbox. Not sure yet, but everyone's going to have different boxes. Again, this is not meant to be super technical or super tricky. Everyone just makes it up. Look at that bit of lettuce. As you cut off all these bits as well, everything's going to be used later. So these are going to act as a structural support for our fort. Every bit. We want to use as much of this as possible. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to do this to put this in the yellow bin anyway. So you're a step ahead with breaking down the boxes. That's going to be a pretty cool door. That's the entry into our fort when we're done. So let's create some space. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some of the bigger boards. This one actually right off the bat's pretty good. And I want to cut off all the flappy bits. So I've got a nice straight edge along the bottom. So just pull it up off the carpet. Right, so we're going to create little supports to hold this up. The way I'm going to do it is out of my offcuts. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a little layout. So get your longer piece, something about this size. Again, these have literally just been sliced off the top. So fold it in 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters on the other side. Then what you're going to do is using your knife, or if you want to be a bit more responsible, you can use a pencil. I'm going to use a knife and mark just where that comes in and where that comes in. So you've got 2 little marks on there. Now you're going to get 2 bits that are probably a little bit smaller than the longer bit, and we're going to mark the top. So I've lined it up with that first mark. You can just see that on there. And I'm going to mark the top of that. So now in that line to the top, I'm just going to slice straight down. It doesn't have to be beautiful. And there's my other mark. So get the height and straight down. At the moment we've just got a flimsy bit of cardboard. What we do is slide these 2 in. And I haven't checked it out or anything fancy like that. You just want it nice and tight and slide them down. I'm going to use the blank side as the outside of my fort. That way the kids can decorate it. We're gonna turn it into like a little city, so we're gonna draw some windows on here using my stapler. So this has all been set out. I've got my 2 folded corners, and you're gonna go one way. I'm gonna go both ways because we're going through some thick cardboard, and this is, you know, your cheapest office work stapler. Nothing industrial. It's all meant to be stuff that you guys have at home. Both ways. Voila. So that's how we're going to support our fort, and I'm going to make this fort, you know, pretty big. I want a big fort, 2 kids, they got lots of room to play in there. So that's the basis to what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put another support in here, and then we'll start tying all the boxes in together. And yeah, it's going to come out pretty cool, I reckon. So I'm keeping this one on the inside. I could tell you it was intentional. You can think what you want, but that's going to be a little storage box. Remember I said the other ones were going on the outside, but you know, make it up as you go, right? Easy to work from the inside, so I'll put it on the inside. There you go. Nice little storage box. Kids can hide some jewels in there. And we'll keep coming around and putting some more supports in. All right, before I go any further, I'm probably gonna start putting some corners together. What I'm gonna do is fold over one of the edges. Again, can be pretty crude with it. All you're trying to do is create a tab for the other box to meet. And look at that, it's a thing of beauty. And we're just gonna throw in a couple of staples wherever we can get them in. When I was thinking about how I was going to do this earlier, I was thinking we'll tape everything together, but stapling is the way to go. This thing's a dream. I think this door is going to be pretty cool. And you can go overboard with this. You can drop like you can have a moat around it. You can have a drawbridge. I'm not going to go that far. Maybe the kids can do that later. All right, so I kind of got the shape up now. I'm going to cut just some really simple lines into this, give it a bit more of a feeling of, you know, maybe having a turret if it's a castle, or if they're building a city, then they've got the city skyline. It's pretty easy to see how with a little bit of energy, some sustainability, what we can come up with in, I don't know, this has taken maybe 20, 30 minutes to put together. You can do it with a glass of wine. You can do it while the kids are out playing, whatever, it's easy. I'm going to finish off with a letterbox. I'm going to punch that in through the front, and that can be the final touch of this little experiment. That's going to be our letterbox. I am going to cut in through the front here, so I'm just going to mark it out and then literally cut it through. You can make up your joints as well. Like, I'm not stapling these because I figured out as I went on that it's pretty hard to staple some of these corners. So I've just cut some slots. It's going to sit in the top, and then the bottom opens up pretty easy, eh? See ya. That's it. Ready to play. I reckon the 20 minutes, half an hour I've spent on here will buy me about 20 minutes or half an hour of peace later on this afternoon, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, pretty cool, eh?